This one goes out to Gary Vaynerchuk. Gary Vaynerchuk says that if you like something, then create content of what you like. Go for it. And I was blessed in this life to like skateboarding, which is about one of the best things you can like. I like skateboards and skateboarding. And as many technical difficulties as I may get along the way, I'm having to refix this thing here. I guess making content isn't the worst thing to have to do, because that means that we get to be here together and talk about. That's Jay Adams over there. Did you see him? Man, I like this workshop a lot. I like this workshop more every day. There have been difficult days in this workshop, but I really, you know, this whole thing's kind of a calling. Yeah, guys, I did a video this morning and it's already on YouTube. I can't believe the upload worked. I am not not super comfortable with technology. I'm punching right now, and I figured it's not going to hurt anything to have you guys with me today. I'm feeling pretty good, but a little lonely. I wish I had people around more. Last week, Weston Vickers came in for 2 days. James Winston Wesky came in, and he helped me rearrange a whole bunch of things in here. And now I've got you guys right where I want you. But you know what? There is a smudge on your lens, if I'm not mistaken. And I can't stand seeing a kind of a glare up there. I've got a phone case on here that makes it awfully hard to get it clear and clean up there. This is just a time for us to hang out, you guys. I'm going to bend this down a little bit so that you can see what I'm up to and get some of that glare out of your face. I liked talking to you so much when we started that I wanted to talk to you some more. I wanted to share what I'm doing. I rolled glue in the other room, fresh batch in the presses. Hi, Dave T. Good to see you, man. Who else is on here? Can I scroll through these? I'm going to look on the screen here. Sam Cook, good to see you. Hopton, Stacy, good to see. Thanks for joining me, friends, for as long or as short as you want to be on here. But I was listening to a podcast while I was rolling glue. Enjoyed that, and then I went and checked my downloads and was very pleased to see that the YouTube version of this morning's talk made it on. I have got some problem with I have an unlimited data plan. I have some problem with data. Sometimes YouTube stuff just doesn't load up. It takes forever, especially on the road. And today I was able to just run it in the background, and all these are 14.75 wheelbases in this batch right now. Hey guys, see what I did? Something cool. I put all my alphabet and all my numbers in my workstation instead of them being in the wooden box they usually are in. And now I can take my template and put it there, and then everything gets doubled. And I got a new, it's the little things, guys. I got a new hammer that's quiet, and I have a softer one of these for it. I've got upstairs neighbors, and nobody's ever complained. One neighbor one time came to me and complained that they had a weird noise. It wasn't my unit here, it wasn't me. But I'm using a piece of carpet underneath. I like working on carpet. And I have another softer tip I can use. It's like $4 at Harbor Freight. Pretty much all my tools, except for the beast here, are from Harbor Freight. This is truly made in the United States Sandrite sander, and I do not regret spending an inheritance on that sander. The whole thing topped out at about $1,400 to set me up, and all of its pieces and parts work extremely well. It's really pleasant to work with. Really enjoy that. There are Grizzlies and Harbor Freight units you can get. The difference in quality between them and the Sandrite is so large that I say if you want to start a workshop and make any kind of volume, definitely go with Sandrite. Just skip right to it. Now, some of you guys, I saw Chris Gobert on here, and boy, Chris is a great board maker. I'm humbled that he spent some time on the feed earlier today. Chris is out in Arizona. He's not only a great board maker with a long, long history in skateboard making, but Chris is also a massive contributor to his local scene. He has great relationships with his local shops. I have terrible relationships with my local shops. It's not something I'm embarrassed about. But Chris is just terrific, and he's really someone I look up to. Another person I really look up to while we're at it is Frank Purcelli. Frank Purcelli's a board maker out on the West Coast. He's out in, I guess he's in Tacoma, Washington. It might not be, I don't think Tacoma is technically coastal, but when you live in Cincinnati, Ohio, and you look at a place like Tacoma, that's coastal enough for me. You can reach a coast in an hour. That's pretty good. And so this is the process of setting the truck holes, and I've said it before. I'm going to repeat myself a lot, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I do. If it ever gets tedious for you, I can't do anything but I like to set a really deep punch so that the drill bit has a nice guiding hole. I don't use a woodworking drill bit with a guide tip on it. I use a flat metal bit. It's actually a wood bit. I use a wood bit, and but it's not. It doesn't have a guiding tip on it. So all these are 14.75 wheelbases, so I get to talk to you guys without having to make too many changes in between. Very happy about that. There's that. You need something round and heavy. This is a speaker. You need something round and heavy to put on there so that the roundness creates a pivot point. You pivot the front to meet the back. 1, 2, almost there. 1, 2. Then once you set the front, you hold that and you recheck the back. Usually it walks a little bit. 1, 2, and then you got to hold it steady. You got to hold it steady. It's real hard too. When this thing snaps, you can rattle it over. It takes a lot of grip strength to use your fingers to hold it down like that. The first way, this is easy. My whole weight's on it. When I switch to this way, I've got to space my fingers, spread my fingers out, be able to work between them. It's kind of a demanding technical aspect there. You've got to be paying attention. If you're not paying attention and you're rushing through it, boy, things can get squirrely. I made a mistake drilling a board 2 months ago, and drilled a hole in the wrong spot. So I did a remake, no big deal, and I did something I've never done before. I did a remake, and then I did a remake. I put it aside to cure. I accidentally drilled the 2 holes in the front too short, and so I filled them all the way through with putty. And this one will go out as a flow board for one of my riders. It's a nice board. It's a never was shape. It's got that tapered nose. I do like that nose. Boy, those guys thought up, I mean, really, they told me what they wanted. I'm going to sand that one through and put a finish on it this week and send it out as flow. I think Bryce will get that one. Bryce, hope you want that one. Bryce Miller out in Austin, Texas. Ostentatious. And this one is punched in the back and needs to be drilled, so it's going in the drill pile. And then these two, now this one, this is Street Riders board, 875, and I'm gonna do a generous tail, 7.2. This is 7. Oh, you can't see it. So this jig works. This is 7 inches tail, and this is 7.2 inches tail. Isn't that nice? I love that. It's cool. This is shorter, that's longer, and they are nice dimensions. I'm gonna put a 7.2 tail on this one, and I'm gonna do 14.5. I'm gonna take a look and see what that looks like when I'm done here. So this one is going to a dear friend in Colorado, and good guy, terrific guy, great guy, excellent guy. And this one is going to get a 14.75 because this guy is not super tall. He's not short. He's a respectable human height with many attributes that are to be admired. He's not super tall. So why would I throw that extra 1/4 inch into this wheelbase when I know this guy would do great on a 14.5 wheelbase? There we are. It's actually 14.5 and a little bump. My 14.5 is more of a 14.6. So nice, excellent, outstanding, Excelsior. There we are. And a deep punch. And I just love my soft mount now. This video is just about content. You guys can try and ask me a question. 14.5-ish. This is an ish workshop. There are ishes in this. You know, you're reckoning. I reckon, which is actually German for math. You know, I reckon that if I start with the right platens and jigs, that we'll wind up with the right measurements. And I like to err on the side of larger versus smaller. I was looking back through my YouTube stuff. I have a YouTube channel. And this one, I'm putting a 14.5 on this one. This one is going out to a dear friend in California. She rules, and she has kicked ass this year in so many ways that this one is a gift of love and respect, headed out to show support to a person who I have come to admire. And it's not a popsicle, it's a punk point. We aren't going to outer space on them. Close enough for rock and roll is all I need. It sounds like Bill Danforth. Hey, you know something I wanted to talk about this week, and I might do a desk session on this, but we need to talk about our fallen heroes, don't we? Us skateboarding guys. Lots of the people who follow what I do are older guys who, what do they call these older guys? Eustas. Did you guys ever get called a Eusta? Probably didn't know you got called a Eusta. Did you ever get called a Eusta? I didn't see that term until this year. It's obviously an older term. Older skateboarders who, most of us were boys. Growing up, when I was a kid, I believe I only knew one female skateboarder. And she still rips today way better than I do. She's awesome. Let's see. Yeah, this will do. There we are. Yeah, she still rips today way better than I do. She lives in Vermont. I'm not going to say her name. I actually wanted to send her a deck. I need to get on that. It's been 6 or 7 years or something. But only knew one girl skateboarder in my town as a kid. I'm going 14.75 on this one. I am. I'm going full 14.75 on this one. And I can line that up on the holes I just punched and get a good result. It's fine. 14.75. Because of where the pocket in the front is. I hope this board is well received. I really do. Yeah, there's a lot I don't like about the way this one. Oh, I know what to do. I'm gonna put their name in it. I'm not going to tell you their name. I don't want to be, I don't want to out them. I really hope they like it. And I hope they just destroy it with their skating. You can't make Z upside down. That's funny. Nice. That worked out great. Good. Now I've got a nice stack of lumber. Oh, Mr. Danforth is terribly eloquent and charming. Hey, a nice little stack of boards here ready for drilling and final sanding. Drilling is noisy, so I'm going to let you guys go. But I do want to show you before I go into drilling. I got Weston in the shop here the other day, and I think if you go back and look, I think you'll see there are some pretty big differences now in the shop. Same basic layout, but I'm going to flip you around. All right. So when you come through the door here and you face into the shop, oh, your camera is, yours all smudgy. Hope I can get it clean. That's better. You come through the door here, and to the right, you've got just a nice little hangout area and some storage. You got Jay Adams there, and you got the little bench where I make the boards. And over there is a drill press, sanding disc, and I moved, there's a big disc sander, it's like a foot, like a 12-inch one, and then I moved the bandsaw from over here. So now this hallway doesn't have a bandsaw station in it. You'll notice I took out what used to be a very tall spray booth with plastic around it, and I replaced it with a simple 10-deck bench venting out through the floor right here. And I'm going to work on building a plenum for this and venting this, but all that plastic and stuff is going to get dealt with. But just a simple bench venting through the floor there. And I hung up a couple of things I had banging around here. Some of these have good memories, even though my groupings are the worst in the world. They're not the worst in the world. I'm happy. And then still working up like what to display on here. the bottom of this is too low. Still got the router station here, and dehumidifier runs constantly. It's off right now. It's dry as heck in here right now. And then I moved this thing way back. It used to be touching the back of this sander. Now the sander has lots of room around it. I might move that back. That's just 3 screws into the floor. But this center piece here is now moved way back, almost against the wall. And there's some plumbing behind it that keeps it from being on the wall. So now, when I walk in here from the other side, because most of the time the doors are locked and bolted, when I walk in here, plus I have I put in my old Harbor Freight what you call it, belt sander here. I don't use a belt sander too much, and I'm storing some sanding belts and stuff there. Some odd storage back here, and again I started hanging up the stuff you guys send me. I have a whole stack of stuff like that, as well as art. Little storage here. So this is the shop now, and then in terms of ventilation, the vent is down here on the floor. That's a big fan that pulls to the basement. It's real. Everything's real rigged. This is not a factory, man. This is a small workshop. But here you are. This is what it's like in here right now. And I have my young friend Weston to thank. We emptied out all the wood that was under here. It was packed, and we made a big bonfire. It was wicked cold that day. Then, of course, it all goes back into here. And I gotta say, there's less chaos in the back room now than there used to be. Plus, I liberated the doorway to our postal box. It's blocked most of the time, but I can get through it. Our bathroom is super classy. The bathroom was actually built into this place really nice. It's pretty good. Almost embarrassing to have so nice a bathroom after this crazy hallway. I mean, look at the ceiling, it's nutso. And then in here, everything's the same. Totally awesome. Amazing and fun to work in. So I got boards in the press. I got boards to drill. Drills are noisy, so I'm gonna let you guys go again. And I'm just enjoying making content for you guys to see from here. And peace, and as always, hi Mom, I love you.